Back when the Book of Boba Fett started, I was expecting to see a short cameo of Djarin and Grogu. It's just something that I thought Disney would not be able to resist, since the Book of Boba Fett takes place just after Mandalorian Season 2, and of course it's Tatooine. I definitely thought the Mandalorian would be back for just a short amount of time. I did not expect that they would devote 2 entire episodes to not only the Mandalorian but Grogu and Luke Skywalker as well. Especially what happened in episode 6 and how it ended. Luke Skywalker offers Grogu an ultimatum. He makes him choose between the Jedi path if he chooses Yoda's lightsaber, or ultimately the gift that Din Djarin gave to Ahsoka, who then in turn gave to Luke, and what led to the ultimate choice of Grogu in the end choosing Din Djarin instead of his Jedi training. I guess in the end you could say that Grogu told Luke it's nothing personal, it's not you, it's me. Of course, his attachment to Din Djarin is something that cannot be overlooked. And episode 7 did not waste any time. It started with Grogu and R2 flying to Tatooine and confirming that Grogu made the choice that we all expected him to do, which is choosing Din Djarin's armor and de facto leaving the Jedi Order. However, there are great questions that have been posed after what we saw in the finale. The future is still very much uncertain for Din Djarin and Baby Yoda. The Mandalorian Season 2, first off, it kinda renders the Mandalorian Season 2 pretty much obsolete. It was a great series and a great adventure, but the ultimate point was kinda moot. That whole scene of Din Djarin saying goodbye to Grogu as he left with Luke for Jedi training now seems not really worth it. The Book of Boba Fett does not give away how much time has passed. In fact, we don't really understand how Boba got to where he got, how Boba spent 5 years with a Tusken tribe, because in the series it just overlooks that fact. We kind of jump ahead and there's not much feel of where in the timeline we really are. But I gotta tell you, it doesn't seem that Grogu spent that much of a time with Luke in training and Din Djarin spent that much time alone. They reunited pretty quickly. And so in the Book of Boba Fett finale, Din Djarin and Grogu leave Tatooine in Mando's new N1 starfighter, which was hinted as having Grogu's place right above Mando's head, and they both sped up into a new adventure. The big question is, where the heck are they going? And what is Mandalorian Season 3 all about? The remnants of the Pike Syndicate were finally eliminated from Tatooine, and now Boba has supreme reign over Mos Espa, and essentially Tatooine. So for Boba there is no threat, and in the Mandalorian Season 2, Moff Gideon was imprisoned by the New Republic. So what story is there to tell in the Mandalorian Season 3? And as I said earlier, what path will Mando and Grogu follow now? What adventures are there left, and what is their prime goal? Well, there are countless options if you thought that there was none, and we're gonna go through them in this video, so strap on, because I believe in fact the Mandalorian Season 3 will be the best season yet. It is pretty apparent by now, if it wasn't in the beginning, that the Book of Boba Fett is not a great series. Basically, The Mandalorian saved this series with episode 5 and 6. Even the finale, episode 7, that saw a huge battle taking place in Mos Espa, was a huge letdown to many fans. Basically, the Book of Boba Fett kinda undermined Boba Fett as a character in general. It showed that he grew up, but it wasn't what we kind of expected. The other problem was, of course, the action scenes and how slow they were, how underwhelming they were, and so forth. I could talk about the problems with the Book of Boba Fett series for hours if not days. But if anything came out of this series was, of course, the setting up of The Mandalorian Season 3. You could say that Book of Boba Fett was basically Mandalorian 2.5. What the new season of The Mandalorian will tackle, of course, is the greatest subject of them all, and it's gonna be all about the Mandalorian clans, the Mandalorian mythos in general, the Mandalorian people, whatever you want to call it. I think Dave Filoni has been biting his tongue up until now, and we're gonna go full on mythology and culture explained in Season 3. We got some tidbits in the Star Wars Rebels animated series, now we got a lot more in just episode 5 alone of the Book of Boba Fett with the armor, Paz Vizsla, and Din Djarin. If you remember what Mando said to the armorer, this kind of explains everything. You see, the armor said that his relationship with Grogu is basically forbidden in the eyes of the Jedi. A Jedi must forgo all attachments as the armor, but Mando does not agree with this method. He basically thinks that the Mandalorian way is completely the opposite. Loyalty and solidarity are the way, which shows why Grogu actually chose Din Djarin instead of the Jedi way, because Din Djarin is the only family that Grogu has ever known. It is basically impossible for him to forgo the way of the Mandalorian and accept the Jedi way, relinquishing all attachment. Now comes the main issue of The Mandalorian Season 3. The Armorer basically banished Din Djarin from the Creed because he had removed his helmet. She told him that in order to redeem himself, he would need to go to the living waters beneath the mines of Mandalore, which of course have been destroyed. So this leaves Din Djarin with the same predicament of Grogu. Din Djarin's only family now is Grogu. The Armorer has banished him. I would assume that Bo-Katan has cut ties with Din Djarin too, since he took the mantle of the Darksaber for himself, so he is left without anybody else. Similar to Grogu, they only have each other. However, The Mandalorian Season 3 could tackle the issue of Grogu being a Jedi further. You see, I don't believe that Grogu ultimately returning to Din Djarin means that he has completely abandoned his Jedi path. This has been a huge debate between the fans. Why can't Grogu be both a Jedi and a Mandalorian, just like Tar Vizsla was 1,000 years ago? The Book of Boba Fett finale even proved this with seeing Grogu using his skills as a Force user twice, destroying a Scorpion droid basically and getting the Rancor to calm down and go to sleep. What the Book of Boba Fett did for Grogu is not end his story arc with the Jedi. It kind of is just the beginning. So this begs the question, where are they going aboard their N1 starfighter? Where will we see Din Djarin and Grogu next in Mandalorian Season 3? You see, Mando fought by Boba's side until the Pike threat was eliminated, and he told Boba that he was willing to die in the name of honor, of course still believing that this is the way. But Boba seemed surprised that Din Djarin still believes in quote-unquote the Creed. This kind of tells us that Mando has not yet given up on the Children of the Watch or in their honor code, their belief system. Even though the Armorer banished Din Djarin, he still believes he could be redeemed. What Episode 7 basically did is Din Djarin getting to pay the debt to Boba that he owed him. Boba helped him in Season 2, and now he helped him in the Book of Boba Fett. They are basically square. Now he will seek to get back into the Mandalorian Creed. With the living waters beneath the mines of Mandalore now wiped out, the Armorer refused to give Din Djarin an alternative to this solution. By the ending of the Book of Boba Fett, Din Djarin now officially has Grogu in his possession, the Darksaber, and the desire to redeem himself and be ingratiated into his tribe. Din Djarin even refers to Grogu many times as a foundling, so he is both a foundling and a Padawan. What could be set up by Dave Filoni in the future is that Grogu is the next generation, while Din Djarin now could possess the Darksaber and de facto being a Mandalore. The fan speculation out there could turn out to be true. By the ending of the Mandalorian series in general, we could see Grogu being trained in using the Darksaber, having a much powerful Force presence. He could one day be the second Mandalorian Jedi after Tar Vizsla. Grogu could take that mantle and ultimately become Mandalore. I think that is what Season 3 will start to put in our heads. I said in previous videos that The Mandalorian Season 3 now will be all about reuniting the Mandalorian tribes. Whether you are with Bo-Katan or whether you are with the Children of the Watch, what must happen is that they all should be reunited under one ruler, the Mandalore. Whether that's Din Djarin or Grogu, we still have yet to see, but I think this will all start in The Mandalorian Season 3. That is the only storyline I could come up with that definitely makes a lot of sense. What do you guys think as well? Is this where they are ultimately heading to? Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and if you enjoyed, leave a thumbs up down below, subscribe for dailies. Now you have an awesome day, Star Wars fans. I'll see you in the next video, and may the Force be with you. Until then.